call this meeting to order. Please stand and we'll recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. John, we could have a roll call, please.
Mr. Broward?
Here.
Mrs. Minnie?
Here.
Mr. Platzer?
Here.
Mr. Apple?
Here.
Mrs. Trumbull? Here.
So moving on, I'd ask for a motion to approve our consent agenda for $434,613.17.
I got the 434.
Pardon me?
I got the 434. What's the rest?
613.17.
Yep. Thank you. I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Are there any questions or any further questions? Hearing none, I would ask for a roll call vote, please.
Okay, Mr. Broward?
Yes.
Mrs. Minnie?
Yes.
Mr. Platzer?
Yes.
Mr. Apple?
Yes.
Mrs. Trumbull? Yes.
Just,
What you got?
oh, I'd just like to say that the reason that the bill's so much is because of summer taxes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We're not spending that kind of,
No.
other than
Sure
Paris
we
Road, but.
To give it all back, but
Yeah.
tax money passes through.
Okay, citizens wishing to address the board. Mr. Abernathy.
Yes, sir. There's no special land use for log storage at Lynn's pool, and he's got quite a lot of logs that are, they're very big logs. They run all across. You can see them from US 25. They're kind of the same situation that we had with Louis Carofeld's place. There's no special, he's also selling cars and a tractor. I think the law says they can do 3 in a year, and I know that there was one on there before now, but there's quite a bit of junk around there.
Where is this that there's junk?
Lynn's pool. He does have a fence back there, which you can see through it. I think if we're concerned with keeping US 25 clean, there's stuff outside the fence, there's stuff behind the fence, but there's a great number of logs back there. Also at 6745, there's a full-blown business there, and it's a log business. It's selling firewood, but there doesn't appear to be a special land use permit for that property either.
What address was that?
6745.
Lakeshore?
Yeah.
Yes.
And the same situation there. They've got a great deal of logs that are in the front of their property. Pickup trucks there 2 or 3 times a week dumping logs. There are signs out there. There's really no good parking for pulling in and out. And I think it's as much a safety factor at that location as we had at the Carafel location. And the other question I had was just on bids. The DPW building, I think I was told that was a sealed bid, and I thought sealed bids were supposed to be open in public, and they may have been, but I didn't get a notice of that meeting.
Because that wasn't a meeting.
That wasn't a meeting,
No.
okay.
It was only Mike. I think I told you that.
Yeah, you told me
It was
that the
Mike and
2 of you
myself. We just
opened
know
it.
that's regular procedure.
Okay,
He opens them, I record.
so the public can't really be here for
The
that?
public can
Yeah,
be
the public
here.
can be here.
Oh, and how do they know when the bids are going to be open? Is it posted? I mean, that was my question. I would have been here.
It's in the sealed bid when we bid it.
Right.
When we have it bid.
Oh, okay. So the only
notices.
people that can really be here or
Well,
that are
anybody can
notified?
be here, but no, it's open to the public.
Okay,
But those are the ones that are notified when they're
Right.
given their packet.
right, and it's on there when it's going to be open.
Right.
How does the public know about that?
When the bids are approved, I guess. The bids are not approved at the opening.
No, they're not.
That's
I
right.
understand that. I'm just trying to find out how I can be here when sealed bids are open. there was no notice anywhere that I could find. It wasn't out front. Obviously, I didn't get a notice via email. So I'm just trying to find out how the public can come in and look at sealed bids as they're being opened.
Oh, I don't, it's posted in the.
I don't think they have to.
No.
City of Port Huron, I bid stuff in the city of Port Huron all the time, and they tell you the bids are gonna be opened at 3 o'clock, Tuesday.
So the
October
only
17th,
people that
whatever.
really are notified
In
are
this
the ones.
room, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so the only ones that are really notified of the meeting are the ones that are placing the bids.
They are the only ones
Basically,
notified.
basically.
It's not really, it's not really a meeting,
It's
they
not.
just open them. so.
Right.
It's not a meeting,
They don't award the
bids.
Okay,
Just to clarify any questions, the ones I've been on, clarify questions if your bid comes open.
right,
You're sitting in a room, you can
Okay.
bid. If you're not there, they say, oh, he's not here,
sure.
go on to the next one. That's usually
Okay.
how it happens.
If it isn't
But the
correct,
public at large isn't notified by any way means
No.
that you can attend.
Yeah.
Okay, and the other thing was that I know that Al got the bid, but it was, I never saw it voted on when you're spending money, and that could have been the amount of money, but I know it was approved here. Mr. Apple announced that the bid had been awarded to Mr. Bryant, but it was never voted on. And I thought when the board spent money, that was supposed to be voted on. Especially if, not a, I mean, I've been at every meeting, and I never heard that particular bid being voted on, that amount of money being awarded to a contractor, or the fact that
Well,
the
I
money
think when
was
that's
being
bid, it's
spent.
bid, and we normally give it to the lowest bidder
Right.
at our discretion. you know.
Okay,
And,
but when the
bid-
board spends money, each and every, I mean, I've been here a year, I've heard every time you spend money, there's a vote, and it's not an aye or nay, it's a actual.
Correct, but at the meeting, they approved us to award, to put out the bids, and the bids are given to the lowest bidder. I mean, it's just a given that, normally, I mean, we have discretion not to take the lowest bidder if there's some reason that,
Right.
that we shouldn't, if they don't have the right equipment, or they don't have the right insurance, or they don't have the right, but when it's bid, it's just granted that we're gonna give it to the lowest bidder.
Okay, so,
And
so
we
you
just
don't,
award.
you don't
What
need
we
to
do,
vote
we
on
open the bids,
that.
and we've got 3 bids here, and, Mr. Harrington is the lowest bidder, and we award the bid normally if everything is in conjunction with the lowest bidder.
Right, but then you vote on it to spend that money, and that didn't happen.
Well, we voted to put it out to bid and give it to the lowest bidder. When we made the motion, at least that's my take on it,
Well, okay,
You understand?
not quite. It seemed that there was a step missing, that there were 3 of you here, Al was one of them. The award, you now announced that the lowest bidder got the thing. Typically, when you spend money, you vote on it, and it's a verbal vote. You take notes, who voted up what, yes or no. Is that correct?
When we opened the bids, Al was not here.
Al was not here.
There were only 2
No,
of us.
I understand that. What I'm saying is, anytime I've ever seen you spend any money, like you bought shelves for the DPW building, you voted on spending that money.
Right. There was no
You
bid.
put bids out,
Well, we did have 2.
but you did,
We had 2.
you had 2 bids, I understand that, but when you went to spend the money, there was a vote. There wasn't a vote on this particular
Okay.
bid. And I'm just wondering why. It seemed unusual.
Well, my interpretation of it was that we were gonna give it to the lowest bidder, and now, we decided that at the meeting when we put it out for bid, that we were gonna give it to the lowest bidder, and Al was the lowest bidder. I mean, that's kind of an approval of giving it, you're right, we didn't say, we didn't call a meeting and say, Al got the bid at $4,000 or $5,000 or whatever it was, and put it up, for a yes or no, but
Okay, so then the board can spend money without a vote across the board, without approval of all 5 of you, or a majority vote.
well, I think that, Well, I don't know.
I just thought procedure wasn't followed, that's my only point. It seemed like, you know,
Well,
procedure wasn't followed. And I, you know, I just personally questioned, and people have mentioned to me questioning the fact that when you have a sitting board member and they do win a bid, and the public isn't invited to come in and at least look at who bid, how much the bids were. If it's a sealed bid, it's not, it's open in public, but no, the public's never notified, so that's kind of a, well, it's not really open
They
in
were
the
notified
public.
actually in the minutes that we were going to have this, and I believe the date that the bids would be open.
Okay,
And
I'll
they're welcome to
check.
come and look at them.
yeah, no, good, I missed that, and that's why I was questioning it.
Now,
Okay.
anything that's transacted here is open to the public.
Mhm.
You know, we don't do anything, you know, in the dark.
Well, no, I didn't see the same procedure with this particular issue that I had seen with every other issue that's
I
been taken
understand,
up
I
by the
understand
board.
what you're saying.
So, that was all.
At the August 20th meeting, in the minutes, it says, Mr. Apple announced that the bid to demolish the old DPW building has been awarded to Bryland Construction as it was the lowest of the 4 bids received.
Right.
That's all. He announced it and.
I understand
and
that.
We probably should have questioned it and.
Well, typically after that, you would have voted
I
on
know where you're coming from.
it. You know what I'm
Anything
saying?
else
Typically
would be-
after that, you would have voted on it, okay?
Yeah. But when the consent agenda is approved at the meeting,
That's the following meeting,
But, yeah.
tonight,
no, actually it was in the last.
It would have been in.
or the last meeting, okay,
Or, yeah, August maybe.
okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Anything else?
That's all, thanks.
Okay. Anybody else wishing to address? Okay, moving on. Mark, fire department.
Approval of agenda, number 4.
Oh, yeah, let's approve the agenda. Would somebody care to make a motion to approve the agenda?
I move to approve the agenda.
Support. We have a motion and a second. Are there any questions or concerns? Hearing none, I would ask for a roll call vote, please.
I think we need a roll call on the agenda.
Okay.
Just ayes.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Departmental reports. Mark, fire department.
The siren, they came up on Sunday, and the program is all set to go. So it's done, the paperwork has been submitted. Ruth and Caroline got the paperwork together, so I submitted the money to Mercy Management for reimbursement of the $19,900. So whenever that goes through the state channel, it's already approved projects, just has to get mailed to the state sends the money to the county sends it to us, just like they did in all the other projects. So that'll be coming at $19,900. So that's paperwork's in, and the test, our county doesn't have a way to test all the sirens because they have to set everybody's off in the county. And they have no way to cancel them. So the first Monday of October, I'll have someone at that site, so when they do the county test, that they activate. They all charge through on all their stuff, all their programming, but actually didn't broadcast the test. So I'm sure it's going to be okay. They do all the time, but I'll have somebody just to make sure.
While we're on the siren, what's happening with the siren behind there?
We're going to take it apart. First chance we get, I just got to coordinate with the backhoe operator and take the pole off and get rid of the pole. And I was going to ask, we need to store the weatherhead doesn't have to be stored because it's made to be outside, but that one box on it has all those new electronics in it. I think we should store that inside somehow.
Are they not going to put the electronics on the one up on?
Well, that's what I didn't know. We could schedule. They're really busy right now in Oakland County, but between now and spring, we need to get that put on there, and I just held off. 2 reasons. One is I was hoping to get a favorite Fred Myers of mine to do that, but he's no longer with us, so I can't. He probably could have done that and saved us a bunch of money, but that's not possible. So I do have one other option instead of hiring West Shore to do it, is Rob Vanetz. I might go get him to do it because he did work with him on a bunch of sirens, just to transfer the narrow banding stuff to that. So I was going to ask tonight if.
But that siren right now is in working.
It's operational, yes.
Operational.
Yep, it would blow. It did it the last test.
Okay.
So that one big box sirens, we have to store those 2 things, one inside and one out. I don't know whether there's where there's room to store the one inside.
Well, I think we can find.
How large is it?
What's that? I don't know. It looks about a 3 by 2 by 4 foot cabinet.
I'm sure it can go into.
And then once we get, because that's all the spare parts now, all that stuff would be all spare parts for up there. So we just got to, we had a chance to.
So you want to keep it all over in the DPW building?
Yeah, probably that weather, the big trumpet thing, we could probably keep in his yard someplace, because that's can sit outside, you know, but.
I heard he didn't want it in his yard, but,
Yeah.
well, I figured we'd.
It looks similar to some of the fine artwork down Port Royal, maybe we
Pole
can.
stuff in there, you know, but I.
We don't want a whole fold, we just want
Charge.
Yeah.
assemble it.
But I, you know, I kind of like to get that cleaned up as
Yeah.
soon as we can.
Yeah, that's just one of the things we have to get it back on some chains and a few guys and cut it apart, so. So that is done. I see you have on here your ordinance issues, so that you probably already have that addressed. We have one expense coming up between now and the end of the year, is FCC is narrow banding everything to get more radio frequencies or whatever it is for cell phones and everything else in the country. So some of our old pagers are not going to activate properly as of January 1st. So we just put it in the budget to buy some more pagers, so we're going to have they're about, I was hoping to get in on somebody else's big contract when they're buying, so we get them at a lesser fee. So we're going to have to buy, I think, about 8 of them. I'm thinking 8 to 10, and they're about $500 a piece. So we have one big expense coming up. That it's in our, we did budget for it, but I just want to let you know that that's the only, other than normal maintenance, that's one thing we have to do is replace some old radios because they're not going to work.
Did you pick up our narrow band?
I haven't get the emergency management yet, so I'm going to,
Okay.
I don't want to get time to go by there.
Well, I was going to be down there tomorrow, I could pick it up.
And there's
If
also
you
one
want
there,
me
and there's also one there for St. Edwards.
Okay.
I picked up St. Edwards and called it down there, so if you would do that and save me a trip into Port Huron tomorrow.
I asked the principal at St. Edwards about that, and he didn't seem to know anything about it. I said, well, I know that you have one, and
I'll get it.
I think there's probably some kind of, some kind of story to write you about you and the secretary, the principal of St. Edwards, but they won't go there.
This is the pager, when will it goes
I don't
on?
want that.
Yeah. But anyway, so if you pick all those up, that'll save you a trip in there,
I will pick them up.
and they have their own battery and all that over there, I didn't take any of that. So I will let Nikki know that you're gonna pick them up. Other than that, that's all I have.
Okay, thank you very much. Building department?
Bill called me about 5:30, he said he wasn't gonna be able to make it, he wasn't feeling well. I don't know, seeing what this morning. So if you want, I can do his report to the building report. I mean, it's in their thing.
It's in the packet.
Yeah. Just one
Pretty
alteration and one.
self-explanatory.
Pretty,
Yeah. You want the numbers read?
$687.50 in permit fees collected in August. Total.
Okay. 650?
$687.50.
Okay. The water department. Dusty's in the realm right now of flushing and pumping of the hydrants has begun. And as of today, we have not heard from DWSD, you know, how the township has done as far as exceeding our flow rates as far as our water goes. So we haven't heard anything, you know, anything from them yet. So we have a meeting on the 27th in Detroit with them. So you know, we may not find out till then. But Jane, the library.
Not much other than this is library card sign-up month. So if anybody has let their library card expire or knows anybody who's moved into the community who might need one, now's a good time to get it. They get a free DVD rental with it if they sign up this month. The only building issue are the flies. They're in the hall especially, they swarm on you almost like a blanket. The lady from AA swears she killed 15 in about 5 minutes. I mean, they
coming
are.
in
I'm not sure where our
Walls went down.
Well,
whether they're left over, but they are
They're
bad.
leftovers.
Yeah, they're bad. But other than that, no building issues.
Get a spray,
Um,
spray before you leave.
Okay, I checked with Mike today on a price on a bench. Weren't there people that were wanting to donate a bench out there? What was the price on those?
Don't hold me to the exact, but I think it was 217,
Yeah,
219.
I was gonna say 255 even, which
Well,
is really reasonable.
Originally, Linda Ridley, that had been the point, my thought was that she was going to donate it herself. And then when there was some discussion of a much more expensive
Right.
bench, they didn't want to, but maybe, I don't know if she realizes that the deal that you got on was that
Maybe
I
she-
consider that a good deal for it.
And they are available in black, if they're interested. That's the 4-foot one. And if she hasn't, take a look at the ones on the bike path. There's is that a 6-foot or 8-foot out here?
That's an 8-foot
8-foot
over
out here
at the
by the
fire
DPW
hall,
building,
or
but-
DPW.
I don't think you want one anywhere near that size, and of course, that would be quite a bit more money. but
That bench there was, I think, Marco, what was that, 417, 5?
And-
Yeah, because they had special writing.
Well, yeah, we had
it.
it
Yeah.
in box
Sizes,
sizes.
yeah.
But if you,
But there's
there's
a
not
small
another
one
meeting
down
for
the
a while,
ways.
so you want to talk with her.
Okay,
They're having
yeah,
a
if I
meeting.
see her,
And it seemed to me at one point were possibly more than one person that might donate toward that.
yeah, I don't remember anybody.
I didn't have any
else off the
figures
top.
to give her the other night,
Right,
so.
right.
You know, if they
But
want
the
to,
small ones you figure were about 217, you said?
I think 217. I looked at those this morning, we looked at them. I think it was 217, and then of course there's shipping on top of that. That's where they get you, the shipping and handling.
Well, not light.
But there's still a great deal for the
Oh, yeah.
quality
Yeah.
of
Super
bench.
deal.
Well, I guess while we're on the benches, I might just as well get this out of the way too. We have finished the bike path, put the signs up, put the posts up, finished last Wednesday. The posts were put in, the signs were put on, and we're already missing 2 off the bike path already. So,
That's what I
yeah,
was-
we're already missing 2.
Two.
They busted the 4x4 posts right in half. Don't ask me how they did it, but, and the posts ripped right out of there. I was over there today, took pictures of the whole thing, and, you know, so I don't know, that's something that the board's gonna have to take into consideration. I don't know.
Well, you're missing the whole bench then?
No,
the
posts.
benches are still there. You know,
There's a
thank
sign
goodness the
across the
benches are,
bench.
but they put a sign up, you know, you sit down
Right.
and there was a little saying, you know, an
Oh, I see.
inspirational saying to
Yeah.
get you up and get you jogging again, I guess is
Yeah.
what the kids' idea of that was, but they busted in 2 spots, and they're further back in the woods, you know, in the wooded area, and there was one, somebody that started a fire on the bonfire, you know, campfire right on the asphalt,
Mhm.
so, you know, I found
The
that.
signs are gone? I mean, they
Well,
wouldn't just break them
no,
off?
I picked up the sign,
You
I have the
at least have the
signs,
signs?
we put one on a tree that was back there, you know, we
Yeah.
screwed the one to a tree that's sitting right across from which was an ideal spot until we decide what we're gonna do with the rest of them. But,
And
you
one of
know,
the
they weren't
benches-
there, you know, the 2 days, 2 days.
Yeah.
Because we put them in Thursday and,
Can they be put on metal and cemented in, possibly?
Leave it on the tree,
Yeah.
see what happens.
well, I'm thinking that maybe, of course, there isn't trees around where the other ones are, but the ones
Well,
are.
the one, yeah.
Yeah, so.
And there was, one of the benches had, looked like what was.
Somebody had taken a shotgun to one of the benches too, the first one off of Norman Road. Somebody is target practice doing. I mean, the bench, it's all right, I mean, it's usable, it's not, you
Yeah,
know,
but
you can see where the pellet, you know, the spatter from the shotgun spatter is.
The deer probably stands up pretty good right on the bench.
Yeah,
maybe.
it climbs on and we'll shoot it, or a turkey.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna write a
Really
deal for
disappointing.
our webpage and put something on it about the webpage, and then when we do our fall letter, I'm gonna write, you know, something about it in the, you know, it's too bad that people donate their time and their money and then people go in and ruin it. I mean, 2 days, it's not even there 2 days.
That's- yeah.
Very disappointing, you know.
That's sad.
The students have done a really nice job of trying to make it a nice thing for the public.
Yeah, and people just ruin it, you know, some people just ruin it. Okay, is there anything else? All right.
Yeah, that was good.
Okay, unfinished business.
Well, you have a book sale coming up, but that's after the next meeting?
Yes,
Okay.
that's the book sale isn't until October. That is one other thing that happened actually today when I got there. Someone had left just a huge tub of books just sitting on the bike rack. I mean, people, despite signs at times saying, don't put them in the book truck, people do. You know, people just, if we're not there, they set them in front of the doors, on the bike rack. I mean, it's, I don't know what to do with them sometimes.
Hopefully, we're gonna get a closet built pretty soon to put them in, and once that's full, maybe the sign, big sign needs to say, we can't hold anymore right now, please wait till the next sale or something.
But the point is that we tell people, you know, bring them while we're open so that we can get them in, and no one pays any attention to that piece of instruction whatsoever.
Right.
See tubs sitting out there, it's not because we want them there.
Okay. Unfinished business. Chapel restoration project.
Cindy, did you want to report on that?
Well, they haven't done anything since the last meeting. We had our concert yesterday, and it was very
Well attended.
well attended. Could have been more, but it's a busy time. If you didn't come, you missed a good time, because it was very good. I think Caroline told me $710
we made off of that?
we made. The bike, yeah, we're gonna bike down to Detroit. The bus trip to the Tiger game is Friday night, there's still some seats left. We're playing Minnesota, and it's $40 a person.
How many openings do you have?
I think 11. And they're gonna pick up here at the hall at 5 o'clock. And they drop you off, and there's fireworks, and pick you up, and can't beat that. We had a meeting last week, and there's a wine tasting coming up in October. And what was our next project?
Christmas.
No,
No, but,
it's on the website.
okay,
It's
stuff they're gonna do anyways, but I can't remember. It's,
Wine tasting party, right?
Well, yeah.
that's one, but, oh well, can't remember, there's something else going too.
oh, bake sale.
Bake sale at the book sale.
With the book sale. Yes,
Luscious cookies
so, and others stuff.
and other stuff.
Well, if you missed yesterday, it was a very good concert. It was they did a good job.
It was on Mackinac Island.
Oh,
Well,
That's
a lovely-
right.
That's a lovely place too.
Oh, good,
It went well.
good.
Okay, moving on. Estimates for repairing the foundation of the old township hall.
Lots of stuff here.
good, we need it.
I have 4 sealed bids, which you can open here. Mr. Abernathy can see. One's from Schroeder, and one's from,
Well, who determined what needs to be done?
I did,
Okay.
basically. Here is the, from Pulaski, to support the foundation while the work's done. He's the one that did the chapel for us.
Right.
This is what I gave each one that gave bids. And yeah, I only got one price on the building leveling, because I don't know, there's a guy down in Detroit that I've got prices from before, and he's always been a whole lot more than what Pulaski for bad apps, so that's the only bid I have on that, but as far as the what I got a bid on, the 4 bids there that you'll have to open, so we can see where that's all at. What it consists of is, well, I told them right in the bottom of this, work consists of working with the building moving company to secure building where it is and remove the old foundations, which is like 2 courses of block and a small footing. dig out the crawl space approximately 30 inches deep in the whole area, 26 by 46 plus the 12 by 25 at the back. And install new footings and 6 horses of block. The only thing that none of them figured was, I think we're gonna need about 4 steel I-beams for this. That the township will have to just order. They're no big deal to get, I mean, but.
We have to take care of ordering the I-beam.
Yeah, well, I didn't wanna, till they get it up and see what we actually need, or, that's the only thing. But other than that, everybody figured the same thing, so.
So the,
What is Talaski saying here?
he's
He's
sort of
saying-
contractor,
Talaski is
is that what I'm
saying,
understanding?
who,
He's
Talaski?
sort of like the
He's-
contract person that
No,
raises it? and-
Yes, he's just doing we're not raising it.
Well, no, but I
We're
mean,
just pinning it where it's at, so it don't move, because we can't raise it, because it's
okay,
attached to the
right,
library.
okay, he's sort of doing his work, and
Yes.
those bids are for this,
Yes.
okay,
He's stabilizing the building.
He
where it
just,
is in place.
we
Right.
raised the chapel.
Okay.
Because that's what we wanted to do, is get it
right,
up higher.
we don't want to
This
raise
one-
it, we just need it
Oh,
stabilized.
it'd be nice to raise it, but we
Well,
can't.
yeah.
It's gotta stay there.
If the library were like,
No,
That would be tricky.
So, and
and those bids are for this amount of work,
those bids are for all the masonry work. and-
gotcha,
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the bid.
Talaski's bid is
6,500.
6,500, yeah.
okay.
Stabilize it and pin it. And,
Yep.
He has to do that first before the,
Yes. But I made it clear to Extreme Masonry, Dave Wilson, who laid the block over here. He's got a price in there. Bill Schroeder, sure I know. And Clyde's Concrete, Clyde Taylor down here, he gave a price. And Scott Williams, S.O. Williams Concrete from North Street. You know Scott, I think, Carolyn, Bob Lockwood's son-in-law. His wife's daughter is married to Scott, anyhow. They live all that business.
okay.
I'm sure you know, because you know.
so are we,
They're all,
this right now?
very reputable. That's, yeah, as far as I'm
We
concerned.
might just well open these right now.
Be
Okay.
open or
Sometimes
Sometimes
they
everything.
open them up.
this has to be done before the election.
I don't think it's gonna be done before.
Well,
you know, I
it
don't
should be
know.
done before the election.
Should be.
Yeah.
We would like to, but,
Excuse me.
because then we can also begin putting the siding on, which would help some of the problems we
Yeah, and I talked,
flies and mice and.
I talked to Matt the other day. The windows are supposed to be in the first week in October, I think he said,
Right.
which is probably like Thursday of that week.
Is that gonna be a
Northern
problem
Lakeside.
doing this
No,
after the windows are in?
no, he knows that this is gonna happen, so.
Well, I'm saying
Every
though,
one of these guys said they'd get started right away, so.
okay, so they'll have it done by the time the windows get here?
Well, they may not have it done by the time they get here.
But they would have
he
it
may
done to
just
the
have
point
wait
where it's
a
not gonna
couple
move
days.
enough to damage the windows?
Yeah,
That would be a good thing.
yeah. Oh, exactly.
Okay, so,
But,
we
The
have
only-
to approve Talaski. We have to approve Talaski.
well, we do, but personally, I think maybe we should open the bids, because I have no idea where they're gonna come in at, you know? I mean, if they're, you know, $50,000 bid or something, we might wanna rethink this. I have no idea. I mean, I would guess it would be a $15,000, $20,000 job, personally, but we're gonna see what anybody's thinking, so.
So, you're saying open the bids because we may not do any of it?
Well, yeah, so just open the bids and then we'll just do both motions
Okay.
separately. That's my feelings, I don't know what anyone else thinks.
Well, I agree, because we don't know what's in here.
We don't need it, we don't
Let's
do
blow
that.
the budget, you know, whatever we got.
well, but this is all,
You can't do one without the other.
Okay,
Right.
we're gonna open these bids. This is from Schroeder Masonry.
but this has all been,
But we budgeted.
that's what I was gonna say, we
I think we
budgeted
budgeted around.
So as long as they're not $50,000 like you say.
Yeah, I have.
Okay, new foundation under Old Township Hall, remove the existing sidewalks, front door of hall, north side of walk, and front doors of library. Dig around building and remove existing footings, block. Now, this will be done after steel beams have been installed by contractor hired by the township. Dig under building, remove sand and to the top and new footing, approximately 30 inches. Form and pour new footing, 42 inches, low grade. Lay 8-inch block, crawl space, lay 8-inch block piers, approximately 7 piers needed. Plaster entire exterior of crawl space, block fill crawl space with sand. Site, no exterior concrete included. And his price on that is $17,000.
Okay, I'm confused at that, we're gonna have to look that over, I'm confused as to what he's bidding on.
Yeah, but I'll try to explain it to you
Okay,
again. Just,
Okay,
I tell you,
removing the cement out there?
yes, the piece in front of going into the hall
Mhm.
has got to come out,
And the reason for that is?
because it's like right up to the building. In order to take out the foundation and put the new foundation in,
But
you
he's
got to
not,
dig on both sides of it.
but he's not, I don't think I think I understood him to say that he will not be doing any outside cement work?
Yeah, I told them, I told them all not to figure replacing it, other than putting in a temporary walkway, because there's got to be a temporary walkway there all the time,
For the
all
library.
wood, so the library, or not for the library, for the town hall.
Oh, in the big, okay, in the township.
A temporary walkway until they're finished.
Yes, because there'll be a hole underneath it, it'll be like a little bridge.
So that's where they have to go
And,
under?
and on the library side, which I think maybe is where you want to put a bench, up there by the door, is that, or are you putting it out in the grass?
I don't
Well,
know.
anyhow, on the library side, a piece of that concrete's gotta be cut out. But I told nobody to figure any concrete, because once this is done, then we have to cut that concrete in front of the existing sidewalk, in front of the town hall,
Mhm.
to get that drainage and get it coming over, and
Yeah,
all
but-
that concrete work's gotta be done. So it was my opinion that whether we end up doing the whole parking lot or not this year, we definitely are gonna get across the front and replace that piece of concrete, but that'll be totally separate.
What are you gonna put in there, a basin, a drain?
I would think that's what
We have to do something.
yeah,
That'll carry that water out from laying it in
that's
the library.
the next
Either
one.
that or
But
reissue
rather than
papers.
buy, or have them figure to replace these 2 pieces of concrete with 1.5 yards of concrete, it's better to just have whoever replace that whole section.
So that'll be a whole
Do it all
separate
at one time.
Yeah,
thing.
At a later time.
well, as soon as,
Well, yeah, but I mean, not,
yeah, not much later, but,
no, but
yeah.
Okay. There's no name on this until we get it open, so. Exterior masonry.
Extreme.
Oh, extreme. Oh,
That's
yeah.
the
Oh,
Wilson.
okay.
That's the one that did the library, chapel work.
Dig out crawl space and remove block, dig and pour footings, relay 48-inch block foundation, all outside excavating, total cost $19,000.
We're gonna have to look these over and make sure that they all are including the same thing, aren't we?
They're all given the scope of work.
Yeah, they were.
They're all given the same thing, but we can't possibly, you know,
Well,
award.
everybody writes it down differently.
Yeah, well, then we can,
Check that.
Well, we can still
Clyde's
award it with-
Concrete and masonry.
What is it, Klein's?
Clyde's. Burtchville Township Hall, remove approximately 140 yards of dirt and install footings. Township Hall, remove and install old footings and block, install new footings with 8-inch block, work with moving company, haul away debris and block, backfill foundations. His price is $18,500.
oh, you're already open. I don't know. Right there. Left hand. Left hand. The other left.
My left or my right? I never was so good at that. S.R. Williams Concrete, LLC. Tear out old foundations, dig out sand, haul away, replace with new footings, 6 course of 8-inch block, also tear out, new block. Oh, Darn it, well,
You
New
can say
piers
ready.
and ground space, half-inch rerod and footings, $16,250.
They're all close.
Not 50,000.
No, that's good. They all have insurance.
Yeah.
I recommend any one of them.
It would be prudent if they would have sent their certificates with those. But,
Well, they'll have to get their certificate before they start.
Well, I feel kind of like Al does, I think they're all very, they're all very good, so.
Well, then I guess we should go to lowest bid. I mean, you know they're worth more than I do.
I have no problem with it. It doesn't matter to me.
And my,
You
I
go
mean,
with
I
the
would make
lowest, you
some-
can go with the highest.
come on.
I just want to see it done.
Well, I do too, Al.
I would make the motion, and with the stipulation that you look at, since you know more about it than I, and the rest
Oh, I'm
of us.
gonna be right watching.
No, but I mean, look at what those bids are to
Cover
make
it.
sure that,
Yeah, Mike and I can go with it.
I think,
Okay,
yeah,
as soon as we're done, or whatever you want.
we can go over, but I understand what they're all saying,
they're all saying the same thing,
pretty much.
okay?
You can't do what they're gonna do without removing the dirt, removing the
Okay.
dirt and, digging and putting the foundation and laying the block up.
Now, one other thing though, before you do. I told every one of them the same thing. There might be some, a little bit of woodwork that's gotta be done on that sill that's there. The existing sill plates,
All for laying it back.
similar to what was going on at the library, the rotten stuff.
Yeah.
None of them figured any of that. I told them we'd have to.
The Chaplain.
Yeah, whether we have Matt Harvey repair that because he's doing the other stuff there or what, but I told him, because there's no way, you can't,
You don't know until
you
you get it
can't,
up.
you can't get under there. There's this much room. I mean,
So it's gotta be dug out so you can get under it.
yeah, it's been dug out a couple spots to get under. I think what you guys got under.
Yeah.
I think the last guy under there was Sam McCormick before that.
That's been a while.
Yeah.
So Al, what would you estimate after this is done, these two, to get the building ready and the parking area, how much more money are we gonna need for the parking area?
That's a good question.
Well, it depends on what you put there, whether it's gravel or cement
Yeah,
Well, eventually we gotta put cement on,
I would think so.
or blacktop.
Cement
or
patch,
black, not gravel.
It's not that big an area, so I'm not sure you can just let it.
But are we talking another $10,000 or
Oh,
Probably.
probably.
more than that?
Well,
We could put crushed stone down if we don't wanna spend that, but
well,
gravel and crushed stone. But it would be nice to blacktop or put cement down.
well, yeah, but for, just for plowing the snow and,
if you poured 30 feet by 80 feet, which will probably be pretty close, at $4 a square foot, it'd be like $9,600 in concrete material and labor,
Okay.
which,
So we're gonna have, without including what we're doing to the inside, we're gonna have $33,000 into that.
yes.
Probably.
Plus, we're talking 20,000 for the inside, approximately.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have 50 grand in this building.
Yeah, we figured more than that though, when we were talking about budget, I think we were talking like 80, 90, and 100, right?
What did you say on the concrete you think, Al, estimate?
9,600.
Well, let's say 10.
What'd you figure, 40 by 80?
Yeah, I just figured 30 by 80.
30 by
2,400 square feet at $4 a square foot. You'd probably get for it for free.
You prefer concrete over the blacktop because it lasts?
I don't,
Is there a different, how much difference in price? Okay.
Oil keeps going up.
yeah.
All of it.
Asphalt.
All of it, yeah, okay.
Well, what we need to do,
We have a motion.
do we have a
on the
motion
floor.
on the floor?
Yes, we
I
do.
made a motion
Do we have a second?
I'm sorry.
use
Use,
SR Williams
S.R.
at
Williams,
16,
concrete.
250.
With the stipulation that the bid
Yes.
covers the specs.
Right.
So if there's any question about that after the
We'll
approval.
have to do something else.
Yeah, what we can do is we get him to come in when Mike's gonna be here, like, yeah, I know you're not here tomorrow morning, right?
No, but I'll be here, yeah. I'll be here at 11 o'clock.
Yeah. I mean, we get him to come in and talk with us,
Mhm.
and make sure everybody's on the same page.
Okay, okay, we have a motion, do we have a second? I'll second it. We have a motion and a second for S.R. Williams Concrete Limited, or LLC, $16,250 for the foundation work. Are there any more questions or concerns? Hearing none, I'd ask for a roll call vote.
Mrs. Minnie?
Yes,
Mr. Apple?
Yes.
Mr. Bryant?
I want to abstain because I work for all these guys.
And Mr. Platzer?
Yes.
And Mrs. Tremblay, yes.
Okay, motion carries.
now we have to do this other one.
You need to hang on to those two talks.
Oh, yeah, this is.
Right, okay. What'd you say, Cindy?
Now we have to do this,
So that's good.
Oh,
the
yeah.
other one.
Yeah, the bottom work on these buildings were a lot more than I think we had hoped for, both the chapel
Well,
and
but
this
look
one.
at the
But-
age of the buildings.
Exactly.
Yeah,
If this
that-
lasts as long as the other did,
And actually, I think that town hall's older than that church, isn't it?
it's pretty
Yes.
close.
I think
it's
they're
older.
pretty close to
Pretty
the same
close to the
age.
same age. Well, the
Maybe
same
a
year
year
as
or
Cindy's
two.
house and my house, actually.
My house, Carol Ann's.
Yeah,
If it wasn't sitting on sand, it'd probably be all rotted out.
yeah.
Probably gone. Okay, I'll make a motion that we hire Pulaski Building to pin the foundations and do it at a cost of $6,500.
I'll support that.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any questions or concerns? Hearing none, I would ask for a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Apple?
Yes.
Mr. Bryant?
Yes.
Mrs. Minnie?
Yes.
Mr. Platzer?
Yes.
Mrs. Tremblay, yes.
Motion carries.
Well,
Yes, they do.
should be a good, yeah, tomorrow, whenever. Okay.
Thank you for getting that done finally.
Okay,
There, don't get one.
next on the unfinished business is William Bosch's review. Being that he's not here, do we want to go on with this review, or
Oh, I would think so.
do we want to do it in, he wanted to go into
Closed session?
closed session when he was here.
I would think that that would be appropriate. Because he wanted the other one in
Yeah,
closed session.
the other one was in closed session.
And then we have to close them out and make our decision.
Okay. Do we want to do that now, or do we want to do that at the end?
Well, normally you try to do that at the end, just so it doesn't interrupt,
Hold up, everybody.
hold up everybody, right? But,
Just so you know, he had mentioned to me that I told him the other day that, don't think that we're gonna be
mhm. Doing
doing a
the,
review.
finishing
I
the
said it's
review.
on the agenda, but he told me the other day that he didn't want to go into closed session anymore, but.
You didn't let us know that, Al.
Well, and that's fine, if you want to.
I think we need to,
Yeah, well,
briefly anyway, because that's where we were when he was here.
yeah, I understand. I
To
just-
kind of,
I don't want him to say,
well, he should have let us know, he was here this morning.
yeah, well,
should have let Mike know that.
I think he's pretty upset with Chuck.
Well, sure.
So,
Of course, they were good friends,
yep.
a long time.
Well, I guess let's leave it up to the board. I would leave this up to the board. Do we want to do it without him being here?
Yes, we said we were gonna do it in 30 days, and I feel that, yes, that's my opinion.
Or have a special meeting, just say, this is when we're gonna do it, with it, whether it's this week, later
Well,
this week.
I guess I hate to do a review on a guy that when he isn't here. You know, let him make up his mind.
I mean, I don't wanna wait till next month.
You know, and I think it's only fair that we, at least he's at the meeting.
Okay.
You know,
I don't wanna wait till another
I mean,
month.
it's hard to review somebody when they're not here, you know. over
But-
things that we want.
And my thoughts are then we'll do a special meeting.
I think, you know, in all fairness to Bill, that we should postpone this. We can call a special meeting, you know, sometime, you know, next week or whenever it's convenient for him, and do it then. If that's fair to everybody else, or everybody else agrees.
It's fine with me.
Do we need to take a vote on that, or just? Well, let me do this.
I don't think
I'm gonna make a motion that we wait, and we will do the review on Mr. Bosch at a special meeting later in the month.
Okay.
If I can get a second for that.
I will.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Later in September, just a
Yeah.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Okay, moving on, new business. Lexington Water Authority. Backup. Did everybody get a chance to look at that?
What happened to the old one?
Yeah, I don't know, I didn't quite understand that either.
We have a-
We have a backup plan. We did have. I didn't know that it expired or anything, I didn't know there was such a thing.
Well, evidently it expired.
Well, I don't know that. Do they know that for sure? I don't see that it did.
Well, on this particular one, there isn't a time that says,
It expires?
this agreement from this, oh, it does say
Oh,
this.
ending this day.
Ending this day, okay, but does the other one?
I don't know.
I don't, it's been a while, I just thought we just did it, that, you know, it only
Well,
purchased the
it's
thing.
just,
It just went on, I mean,
Mhm.
it's just
I
a
thought so,
customary
too.
deal that if we have a problem, that they were gonna take care of us and we were gonna take care of them. You know, now all of a sudden, did we have a signed contract with them? Or was I?
We had an agreement with
Was
them.
it verbal?
Oh, I don't think it was verbal. But I don't have that.
Well, does anybody see any problem with this, you know?
Well, you know, this is, I guess I still remember this before, this is. I thought this was for the water itself, this is for our employees, I think.
Well, it takes care of, if you know, if Ruth was sick and we needed somebody to come in here and do the billing, or if, you know, we needed somebody, Dusty was sick and we needed the water shut off, they come down and they do the water shut offs and do whatever we needed, you know, in the line of the water department, you know.
Wow, I don't know that we want that in our
But, you know,
computer system.
This agreement consists of duties, well, let me read it, such as emergency calls, water turn-offs, meter reading, customer concerns, collecting water samples, answering the telephone, collecting payments, and entering it. You know, and I don't know that, you know, if things were that dire here with us, I think we would want somebody on our own.
Well, we already can do the payments and answer the telephone and,
We have people in our office that can.
and
cover that,
entering into
right?
computer, right.
You know, so.
Yeah, and, you know, we have Kevin as our backup.
Yes,
We have
we do.
backup,
Hey,
yeah,
I don't,
So I don't know that this is an advantage to us.
No, I think it's probably looking at, it's probably an advantage to them because they have a smaller, smaller department.
Well, but the whole thing seems aimed at they would assist us.
Well, and that's what it's for, and I think this is like more for in case of emergencies or something like that.
Right, but we, like Al said, we kind of pretty well,
But I remember when we had the water problem with our well pit over there, and we got all ready to connect to their water and stuff. Remember that one time, about 3 years ago, and everything seemed to go pretty smoothly there. So I guess I was not aware that we had this.
I'd like to see this put off for a month. Let's do a little more research.
Well, we can
on
do a
it.
little research, see exactly what what
Right.
they expect from us.
Uh,
I guess I would vote to take this thing to the next meeting.
I don't know why they want us in their computers or why we want them in ours.
Exactly, I don't know what program they use.
Well, I think they're looking at it from an emergency standpoint of,
Well, and that's what we know what we
catastrophe
need
going
to
on
do.
or something, say a tornado hit up there and they didn't have any way of getting any of their stuff done, and they would depend on us to come down here and take care of their stuff and send them the help, and vice versa, not that it couldn't happen here
So
too.
we send Dusty up there and do they pay him?
According to their wage
Yeah.
schedule is what they
To
said.
their way.
Or he-
Doesn't he have to have some input into this? He's got a contract with us, right?
Yeah, it wouldn't
Yeah.
hurt. It wouldn't
Yeah.
hurt. I think we need to table this and do a little more investigating.
Okay, I would agree.
It's kind of similar to what we did with Fort Gratiot. We let Dusty go down there.
Yeah, when they lost their water guy, he went down and he took care of the water for them
But that
and
was.
did the testing and all that stuff.
But he worked that out and then he came to us with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is a little different. I mean,
And then he dropped it because they weren't following
Well, yeah.
regulations.
so I think he's gonna have some input into
I
this.
agree. Do we want to vote on that? We have to vote, people.
I'll make a motion that we table this until the next meeting.
Support.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Nay. Motion carries. Generator service agreement. Oh, Mark is gone. I was here. Did we ever get we did get a price from him, didn't we, on what they wanted?
This is what I had from the minutes.
From Bridgeway?
Yeah, from
Mhm.
Burtchville. It was $127 for one.
527.
Yeah, but you never got a quote from Ainsworth,
No,
so I did. I did.
And what was the payment for?
$350.
For 1 year, or for once a year?
Yeah.
well, that's the same as Olds. Did you show, you didn't,
Olds is 525.
no, that's for more, for the annual generator
Oh,
service.
Well,
350.
This is what I did. I took, when I seen it in there, and I didn't see one of Ainsworth, I mentioned to Mike before about Ainsworth, I never thought about Dennis. Either one's fine, but, I faxed this down to Ainsworth, just like this, with no prices or anything on it. So they're apples to apples, if you look at it, did you?
So they're the same price.
I don't think so.
Well, Al, I don't like this happening at the last minute at the meetings. I think we should have had this ahead of time.
I'm sorry, I just got it today.
Well, then he should have gotten it to us before today. This makes it a little difficult for you. Okay, so you faxed down the entire thing that we got from Dennis Olds.
This,
I see that.
right here.
I see that.
That's not from Dennis Old.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yes,
It's
it is.
exactly.
Oh, you took the stuff off.
I cut it
gotcha.
off. I cut it
Gotcha.
off, so he didn't have any of
Any of
that.
that,
And I,
gotcha,
so he's doing apples to apples. I wasn't gonna write it all down.
right.
So you can do whatever you want. You can pay $525 or you can pay $350, so.
Well, the
That's
problem,
how I see what you're
the
saying.
problem with 525 though is he's doing it twice a year for
That's right.
525.
That's right.
He's doing it,
So it's not
he's doing
apples to
it,
apples.
he's doing a semi-annual maintenance and he's doing an annual maintenance. And he's doing the changing the filters and he's
Well, but it looks like Ainsworth is doing all of that.
Yeah.
at 350.
It says one semi-annual, and it says annual.
Oh, okay, well, I haven't got a chance to look this over.
Well, it's the same thing, isn't it? Except there's no amount on it.
Okay.
Well, they took Dennis Old's quote and.
The word,
I know, I see what you're saying.
Did we have a date on there when they had to be submitted?
No, you mean
No,
for
but
approval? No.
It's,
Oh, I just thought, and the only reason I went to Dennis Holes with it was because I would prefer to have somebody locally be handling, taking care of our generator. If something's wrong with it, we call, and this company that's, you know, I don't know where they're located out of, but, you know.
yeah, but I told you to call Rich Ainsworth, and you didn't call Rich Ainsworth. At all.
well, Al, you got a little bit of conflict there more than that too, don't you? I mean, I don't have a problem with them coming in.
Actually, I use Dennis Holt more than I use Rich Ainsworth personally.
Well, I
I
don't know,
do work
Ainsworth
for
does,
Dennis Holt.
Ainsworth does a lot of our electrical work here.
We call
I
it for
understand.
stuff to hear all the time.
So why wouldn't you get a price from both of them?
I don't know.
Well, let me say this, it just slipped my mind, you know?
Well, you can do whatever. you want
Well,
to.
and
It's up to
actually,
you.
we talked about Stevens or Stevenson, but they don't do that, I guess, right?
Well, that's
They-
where
they
we
don't-
got,
They don't.
That's where we-
that's why we should have never got it from them, because they don't service them.
Well, they used the lowest price though at the time, didn't they?
No, I don't think so.
Well, I'd say this is a no-brainer, if Ainsworth's gonna do it for $350, you know, the same thing, Change your name, change building, start one.
Well, it's the same, because he took the old school.
Well, it's the same, but he's doing the semi-annual inspection too.
Right,
It included in that
no,
price.
it's the same
It's
printout.
not, yeah, it's not $175, so, see, all materials are very.
Right.
See, the thing is, Ainsworth and Dennis Holt both use the same type generator, they use Generac,
Mm-hmm,
and we have a Cummins generator,
mm-hmm.
which is an oddball thing around here, and Bridgeway is. Okay, so Dennis was $525, where Bridgeway was $527.50, I do believe, Mark had told us.
Mm-hmm.
I think, I know. yeah.
That's according to
Yeah, I
what
mean-
Mark said, right, they didn't submit a
They
written.
they never give us a written estimate, I think you just,
Yeah, well, that's what I thought it was.
it was in that ballpark. I have no objections to Ainsworth, I mean, if they're gonna do the same thing that Olds Electric's gonna do for, they're doing it for $350 and $525, I mean, it's a no-brainer. So, yeah, and Ainsworth, they do good work, so I don't have a problem with either
And they
one.
could be here when the power goes off during election. Right, Caroline?
Mm-hmm, that would be,
So,
well,
no,
if
I
they
don't-
keep it serviced, we shouldn't
Have
have.
that problem.
Right.
1 hour to power. That's his big claim to fame.
That's claim to fame.
Yeah, did it purchase commercial?
Yeah, I guess
1 hour
I
to power. I see that's pushing it to me, but,
1 hour?
yeah.
Yeah.
I would, somebody want to entertain a motion, or? If not, I'll entertain a motion that, because we need to have somebody in here to do this work on this thing, and I'll make a motion that we accept Ainsworth price of $350 for an annual and semi-annual inspection for $350.
Support.
We have a motion and support. Any questions or concerns? Hearing none, I'd ask for a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Ethel,
Yes.
Mr. Platzer,
Yes.
Mrs. Minnie,
Yes.
Mr. Violet,
Yes.
Mr. Apple. Oh, you already did your Mrs. Trimble, yes.
Okay, motion carries. Okay, in my supervisor's report, I was gonna, report about the bike path and how disappointed I am that, what's going on out there, but I don't know how there's any prevention. I mean, I don't know, there's no policing that, and I was really upset that somebody built a bonfire right on the
And that nobody reported.
That upsets me, I guess, more than somebody breaking off the post. But those posts are 4x3s, I guess they are, they're not 4x4s, but I don't know how they could just snap those things in the middle and or break them off. And they put them in with a piece on the bottom, so you couldn't pull them out. When they compacted them in the ground, they had a square deal around the bottom of them, and when they set it in a hole, so that they couldn't just pick the post up and pick it out of there.
So this was the post that was back in the woods?
Yeah, well, we set the post last
Well, I know, but
last Thursday.
it's not on the main road or...
No, they're back in the woods, Jody. All the damage was done back in behind, behind Pat Jenks and behind the trailer park in that area, which is a shame. And I guess another thing that I need, I wanted to report too, is that there's a lot of trees. There's a lot of ash trees, dead ash trees in there along that path that, I don't know if it's on Mr. Metta's property, or I don't know exactly what do we own there?
We don't own anything.
No, it's a red one.
We have a
So it's just a right 20-foot easement through there, so anything other than the 20-foot easement belongs to the property.
That's
owner.
right.
Well, I'm afraid that, we could have an accident back there with these trees falling down. There's a couple there that we need to go back and we need to cut up. And I would like to get maybe a volunteer work group together and go back and really, there's areas in there that are just impossible to cut at 5 feet. I mean, along the trail there where now that the foliage is all growing again, from the drought's over and everything's starting to grow again, that's getting pretty covered back in there. So I don't know, I'd like to maybe...
But Mike, are these trees on the bike path or are they on private property?
Well...
I don't think we can cut them if they're on private property.
Well, they're on private property, but I mean, I could call Mr. Metta and see
well, if it's on his, right.
what he'd want to do about it, or, if he would give us permission to go back in there and cut them, because all in all, if somebody's, I think we're still liable if somebody's riding a bike back through there.
No, he is. No, he is.
I don't think so.
He
And I think
is. We aren't
especially,
liable for somebody else's tree falling on someone.
And I don't
know that this is true or not, but I had heard at one time, if you notify your neighbor that there's an ash tree on his property that could fall over onto your property, if you notify them, sign kind of thing, that now they're notified, if that tree falls over on your property, you can go after them.
Sure.
I'll send
So it's not just like your own insurance company's gonna take care of it, you can sue them for that.
Well,
Not that you want to sue anybody, but I'm just saying, if he's notified,
I'm more
you
concerned about
might be
somebody
able...
getting hurt over
But the
there.
injured
than
party would
somebody,
sue.
Yeah.
Sue them. The injured party would sue them.
The other problem is these ash trees are getting so dried out that they're snapping.
Well, there's three down
tree cutters that have been hurt, because they're not, they're cutting them down here, but they're snapping,
up on the top.
and it's coming down on them, and,
Yeah, I'd be really careful with volunteers.
yeah.
Well, I'm not talking about volunteers to cut the trees down, I'm talking about volunteers to go through there and kind of square off that.
I thought we did that with the boom ax.
Yeah, but either that or
They
we
only
need to
went-
get...
they could only go so far.
Let me talk
We need to get
to...
them back in there.
Let me talk to Jack again and see
You
if
need
I
to
can...
take a look at that, Al. You can only get that in there so far.
A lot of those places there, where they were talking about cutting it 5 feet, well, the problem is you got 6 inches here and then all of a sudden it goes up on the bank. There's no way you can cut it. But a lot of the places, the vegetation is starting to grow out and it's over the, if we just went through there with I don't know, machetes, chainsaws, whatever, and if we could get a bunch of guys, I wouldn't want kids back there doing it, but if we could get some volunteers with, to go back and just kind of trim that out and brush that out you know, but it's gonna take a big wagon and,
Community service workers with machetes.
well, I mean, it's a concern. I mean, we need to look at it, you know.
Actually, no, in all honesty though, community service workers have been over at the state park. They've cleared that fence.
Good.
I noticed
Chain link
that, I
fence.
noticed that on Sunday.
That's basically the same thing you're talking
Yeah,
about.
that's basically.
And I don't, maybe that's, maybe that is a possibility.
Who's in charge of community service?
I don't know if we checked.
I'll tell you what, we can find out because we
I'll
use
told,
them
but-
at the garden club over at the garden, at the Hillocks.
Dusty's talked to him, Dusty's got the number.
Yes,
If not, I just call state park and ask them.
right. Yeah, it doesn't.
Probation department.
They did that twice this year. They did it in the spring and they just did it a couple weeks ago.
Okay,
Might be.
okay. That's all I have, you know. I'm gonna do a letter, I'm gonna, you know, in the fall report, I'm gonna put something in our, you know, Burtchville briefs and put it on the website again. Compose on a letter to put on the website.
Well, I think if we can ask the community to keep an eye on things, help police it. If we want to enjoy it, it's going to take a community. It's going to take everyone.
Well, it's really just the people that live around there, and there's probably not that many of them, is there? Just on what, Norman Road and...
Oh, no, there's a lot of them right there in the mobile home park.
Well, yeah, and we have a donor too that wants to put shrubs and stuff along there by this, around the signs and plant, and have the kids plant flowers and stuff around there, but you can't keep the signs there, there's not much sense of putting them.
Garden
Shrubs,
or
that's,
anything,
you know,
right?
I mean, shrubs that aren't gonna need a lot of trimming and stuff like that, but, you know, it's kind of senseless to have the guy throw away his money when you can't even keep the sign there, so.
Well, the only way you can contact them is by mailing, so it would probably be that hard to identify who it is.
Yeah.
Send them a letter, or some pictures.
Yeah. It's discouraging. We
Well,
go-
moving on, I guess, Caroline, clerk?
I really don't have anything now. We have an election, well, we have an election coming up in November, everybody knows. It's gonna be a big one. We're gonna be busy. We already are with AV, absentee ballot applications, and honestly, I can't think of another thing right now.
Okay. Moving on, Jody, treasurer's report?
The staff up front has asked the board members and the ones that are usually working to let them know if they're going to be leaving early or going to be off, or not so much that, but when we have meetings like chapel meetings, letting them know so if they get calls, they know how to respond to people. And things like the bids, the date that the bids are due. If they don't know, they can't answer the questions. So I guess we just have to be more informative to both Marilyn and Kathy because they answer the phone the majority of the time.
Okay. I didn't realize that was a problem. But,
I didn't single out anybody, I'm just saying
Oh, no, I
for
see.
everybody,
yeah.
myself included.
Okay. Cindy?
The only thing I have to say, report, is on bike path, actually, again. You know, my daughter and a friend from out of the community walked ours, and she said she walked Fort Gratiot's on Saturday and was just totally amazed at how much better ours is than theirs. A lot of patched in spots, not level, not cut near as well as ours are. I mean, she liked their bike path, don't get me wrong, but she just said ours is just in way better shape and way better taken care of. And obviously it was before well, she didn't walk ours this week. But the other thing she still asked for was some trash containers. And I guess my thoughts are, nothing better than a couple of 50 gallon
If they have some kind of junk.
Those are pretty hairy.
Well, you know, with what's going on with
Yeah, who's gonna
with our
empty 'em?
post, I'd be very, very.
Exactly.
What would happen is we'd go back there.
We'd have a
and-
fire in there.
And we'd have the tub there and all the junk would be all over the property, you know,
Well,
so.
I think,
Well,
and
let them
that's
take their junk with
because,
them, is the way I feel.
yeah, but
you
they're
know.
picking up other people's junk, right?
Right.
That's what she's saying.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
I know
see.
what they're saying, but I
Oh,
don't think
okay.
we have an easy solution.
Well, I was through there today, and the only thing I picked up one plastic bag back in there by one of the benches, and I don't know if somebody had a picnic back there and just left it there or something, but you know, and I took pictures of all the benches and all the signs, and I just picked it up and put it in my car, but that's the only thing I saw that was really out of place, you know, other than our signs.
So do we have an ordinance about dogs and horses?
On the bike path,
And on the road,
on the roads?
like Old Lake Shore?
No.
Somebody's out on their horse Sunday and
Yeah.
we're out in front of Tally Hall. I mean, that's disgusting.
I think horses still have the right of
Yeah,
way in
they
Michigan.
still are allowed on,
You
Really?
know,
on the right of way.
yeah, they do.
Well,
They have
but I
the right
mean,
of way.
cleaning up after them?
Oh, I don't.
You know what, Jody, that, I agree, but,
They need diapers.
yes, they do.
Wow.
There's some right out here.
To Avoca Trail has real problems.
Yeah,
with
they
that.
have a real problem.
I guess it's quite slippery over there.
Yeah, I heard that too. Okay,
That's all I have.
okay, now,
I have nothing else other than what I had.
okay. Is there any extended public comment?
I just want to say my horse is not responsible for that.
I'm sure.
Okay,
I'm positive.
Okay, okay. We'll take your word for
He has never done that.
it.
Not once ever.
Now, now I know. Okay, would somebody like to make a motion to adjourn?
I will.
Support? Support. All in favor? Aye. All opposed?
Al.
Meeting is adjourned at 8:20.